What's up, folk? I am here. I am back. Welcome back. Welcome back to me. I apologize for any noise. I'm sitting in my barber chair and it's making a lot of noise. I'm gonna try not to be too long, but I got a whole lot be all over the place. Just want to say it's been one of those things where, like I tell folk all the time, I can tell right now I'm gonna be all over the place. What's up, Ian? Um, but I always encourage folk to make and take time for themselves. We often talk about things like mental health. I'm always talking about mental health and how important mental health is. I apologize for the gum, but I got the chew. Um, Shut up, Ian. Um, y'all, I don't know. Some of you know, many of you know, most of you know. What's up, Q? That I started seeing a therapist 2 years ago. And at one point last year, I was doing so well, he had cut me back to once a month. And I had to call him a couple of weeks ago. I was like, look, we need to go back to twice a month. But I'm here for a number of reasons. I had to take a break from Facebook, as y'all know. I'm an advocate for taking breaks and for mental health and doing what's best for you. And that's what I had to do. I realized that I had kind of gotten away from myself um, in a number of areas. I also realized that social media, again, it's different for everybody. Now, this is my story. If it applies to you, fine. If it doesn't, fine. If you see yourself in this situation, fine. If not, fine. Hey, Wesley. Hey, Javon. Hey, Jay. Um, but every now and then, because I am always on a, let me say this, we all have our own journey. Your journey is your journey. No one has to understand it. No one has to uh, reconcile it. It's your journey. And so on my journey, I'm always trying to strive to be better. And one thing that therapy is helping with, and me reading more books and staying away from social media as much, or at least taking breaks, um, I'm starting to see myself in a different light, in a more clearer light. And as much as I attempt daily to do better, to live better, to be better, as long as we're alive, let me make it about me. I'm always growing and I'm always learning. And there are some things that, in hindsight, I wish I would have done differently. I wish I could have said differently. I wish I would not have responded to certain things. However, and if you find yourself in this situation, know that we did, we do what we can in the moment with what we know or what we have. Having said that, again, I'm going all over the place. I'm often talking about learning and knowing yourself. That's the most important thing. Loving yourself, respecting yourself, being honest with yourself. And those things allow you, without even thinking about it, to be nicer, kinder, gentler, more respectful, more understanding to others. I got popcorn in my teeth. I'm sorry, y'all. But taking care of yourself is the priority. We came into this world alone and we're leaving alone, most of us. Even twins, one came in before the other one. It's rare that, I don't think it has ever happened where they both came out at the same time. But even twins have their own journeys. So I tell you, as I tell myself, honor yourself, live your best life, figure things out. We all have our own journey. Stop beating yourself up. We all have learning lessons. I, years ago, stopped using the word mistake um, because nothing I do is a mistake. That's just how I see it. You can argue back and forth. You can see it differently in your life. I speak positivity into my life. So, what's up, Tony? What's up, Jeff? So, I look at it as learning lessons. Some learning lessons are more costly than others. There are some, I've often thought of situations in my life where I handled things a certain way, and they had to happen for my growth and probably for the growth of the person or the people around me. There are times when have often felt like, gosh, I wish I could have learned that lesson without hurting that person or without doing the damage that I did. But then I look on the flip side, even in the damage that was done or the harm that was done or the hurt feelings or whatever, there was a lesson that I had to learn, and even the person may have had to learn in dealing with folk. I'm often, how can I say this, referred to as loving and kind and funny and that friend, that ride or die, all that kind of stuff. And there are people, again, if this story applies to you, have at it. Some folk won't understand necessarily life, but there are people who absolutely love me. They've experienced me. They know who I am. We've been through the trenches together, and there's some people I just met who our spirits came together and we have a bond. And there are some people in this world who, for whatever reason, good, bad, indifferent, true or false, hate me. Absolutely cannot stand me, don't have a nice word to say about me. And that's their prerogative. There was a period in my life where I actually cared. I didn't want people to see me the wrong way. Hey, Trisha. Hey, Howard. Um, if I am, well, let me say this. One thing I say, one of the reasons I am honest and transparent is that I don't want anyone to ever attempt to try to blackmail me or take something from me or mess up my name, whatever the case may be. And I always say, you can't hurt me with my truth. Now, if what you say about me is true and it bothers me, the only option I have is to change it. I'm not getting upset. I'm not being ashamed. I'm not being embarrassed. You can't guilt me with my truth. And I hope that encourages, inspires someone else. Many of us are given misinformation, bad information from people who really, really love us. Parents, siblings, friends, cousins, aunts, and uncles who may have been told something or may have experienced something, and they may be trying to shield us or maybe trying to give us advice on, oh, well, this happened to me. I don't want you to go down that road as well. But the reality is we all have our own journey. There's nothing wrong with taking advice from people and paying attention to what people have gone through and trying to keep yourself away from that. But at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, the middle of the day, it is your journey. Hey, Michael. Hey, Gwendolyn. It's your journey to figure out. It's your right and your responsibility to get in touch with who you are, to live your truth, to respect your truth, and to figure your journey out. And let me tell you, I'm approaching 50. I've been through some things. Many of you know, again, because I talk about my stuff all the time. I don't believe there's any healing in secrets and shame and lies and secrets. So I put it all out there. Part of it is for me, and the other part is for other folk who have been through what I've been through, or even if your story is nowhere near mine, just to hopefully encourage or inspire somebody to say, you know what? I don't have to tell everybody my business, but I can at least live in my truth. And another thing I'll say is, when I speak my truth based on my experience, I'm not trying to tell anybody that they have to follow the way that I do it. They have to do it the way I do it. They have to believe the way that I believe. It's often giving people an option, letting you know that there's more than one way. If something is not working for you, by all means, find another solution. My father, my mother, my siblings, they all do things however they do them. I've learned lessons from all of them. I've learned things. I've learned what to do and what not to do. Sometimes you can take somebody's story or situation or the way they handle a situation and alter it to fit your life, your needs, your wants, the way that you think. And that's one of the things, I'm also dealing with, for my friends who've known me my entire life, my Orlando crew, as I call them, folk who've been with me elementary, junior high, high school, and even hereafter. Um, I think I've pretty much been the same person, but I'm growing and they're growing and we're growing. And I don't take for granted, I didn't have, how can I put this? I didn't have a fairy tale life. I didn't have a perfect life, a storybook life, a movie or sitcom life, but I had a damn good life. I don't know if it was just that the time and the place and the people I grew up with were just that amazing, or that we just allowed ourselves a space to just enjoy the right now. And that's what I'm getting back to. That's where I started this. I've always been open and honest, and I've always been accessible. One of the reasons I've been so open and honest and accessible is because I do believe in the power of love and the power of friendship. And again, for those of you who believe in the Bible, who read the Bible and say, whatever, there's a scripture, and I may get it wrong, so forgive me, but you know what I'm saying. In order to be a friend, you have to show yourself friendly. And that's what I try to do. That's what I've been doing my entire life. But I tell you, I guess for like the last 10 or 12 years, I started to realize that I've given a whole lot of myself away and that I didn't have enough for myself. So I'm learning how to, because I love my interactions with you guys, still learning how to give of myself without draining myself or wearing myself out, and realizing that there are spaces and places in me that need to be nurtured, that need to be to myself so that I can be whole, I can be healed, I can be refueled. Last year, I got the opportunity to speak to a lot of people, and the narrative or the narration or whatever I'm trying to say, I was showing people the thing of, I would walk over to the sink and I would have a mug and I would fill it with water. And I would look them in the eye and I'd say, this, what's inside this cup, is for you. Then I would turn the faucet back on. And as the water spilled out, I would tell them, now this is for other folk. And that's the lesson I had to learn. And I have learned it for myself, is that I can't give, I can no longer afford to give what I don't have. And even with me being who I've been my entire life, and as much good as I've put into the universe and tried to, I realized from a different level, I wasn't giving my all. I wasn't giving my best because often I was operating on less than 100%. My cup was not full. And so I'm working on the whole thing of managing and marrying all of that, of still being able to love and care and be compassionate and keep me at 100%. I've witnessed my entire life friends, fair weather friends, friends who are there for the good times, friends who are there for something, whether it's just knowing you or the benefits that come with being around you. And it's been heightened with this social media thing. Everybody's best friends, or come do this and come do that. And when you really need folk just aren't there. Now I can say I'm blessed. I don't, some people I don't even have to call. They call and check on me. They stay in prayer. Our spirits stay connected, and they will call me out on my own stuff and tell me what it is that I need. So I'm blessed for that. I'm thankful for that, and I'm constantly working on that. I'm also that friend, and last year, many folk know, many Facebook friends know, and even people I have not met know that, I listen to spirit. I try to be my best to be open. And when Spirit says move, I no longer question and always find out I did the right thing. So, yeah, I won't, not to brag about it, but just to put it out in the atmosphere. There have been many times in 2019 that a figure came to my head, and there's a lot of people that have been cash apped because Spirit told me to do it. And then the response I get, like, whoa, I was obedient. I did the right thing. And what I want to say, I want this to be absolutely clear. It is not about me. I am merely a vessel. My daily prayer, and I've said this over and over again, so it's not news to a lot of you. My daily prayer is when I'm being my silly self, I want to be used. And the fact that the universe thinks enough of little old country silly me from Malibu, Orlando, Florida, is such a great blessing. Moving on to something else. Well, before I move on to that, there are, again, a bunch of people who are in your life for different reasons. They're drawn to your light. Some people genuinely care about you and they want what's best for you and they want to help you in any way they can. Some people don't have the resources, but they are there in spirit. They're there if you need them. They're there for moral support. But there are some people who, whether you're cute and you got cute friends or you got powerful friends or you're in the know, that's why they're hanging around. And that's just something we have to deal with. And once you find out who they are, you have the option of keeping on with the keeping on, getting rid of them out of your life, or just dealing with them differently. I'm learning how to deal with people differently because life is so cyclical. You never know when people will come back in your life, if they'll come back in your life. You know, they talk about the reason, season, lifetime thing, and sometimes people are there for a season, the season's up, and then they come back. They come back better, you come back better, and it's a whole better situation. So I'm getting in the habit of not throwing people away and not getting in my feelings. That's another thing. I'm learning to stop taking everything so personal. It's hard, but I'm learning. And I say that from the standpoint of people are walking around every day with their own issues. And sometimes their response to you, you just happen to catch the brunt of something else that was going on, or their whole energy, their whole identity of who they are just gives off whatever the vibe is that doesn't go with you. But stop taking stuff personal. If you've done a search of yourself and realize, I ain't did nothing to them, that's their issue. Let it go. You go ahead and have the conversation. If it means that much to you and you want to say, hey, let's talk about this. Let's figure this out. What's going on? Just to clear your spirit and your space. Because, and again, everybody's different, but I'm finding for me, I operate better when my space is clear. I've even reached out and found folk and apologized to folk, not because I was wrong, not because I was factually incorrect, but the way that I responded, the way that I acted, the words that came out of my mouth or the way that they came out in that moment were wrong. It was what I knew at the time, but now that I know better, if Spirit gives me, I'm sorry, y'all, this thing is bothering me. If Spirit gives me a space, an opportunity to apologize and clear the air and keep my conscience and my space clean, I'm going to take it. I want to also talk about getting out of our own way. I'm learning that. I'm learning how to. Now, let me say this. It's one thing to know something, to learn something, and it's another thing to actually put it into action, to operate from it. You can't be mad at, well, let me say this. I can't be mad at or upset about not achieving goals that I have not put 100% into. Let me say that again. I can't be upset about things not working out that I have not put 100% into. A lot of us, well, let me speak for myself, there are some things in my life that because I do it okay enough, I run on autopilot. And I didn't put a lot of effort into it. And when I didn't get the results that I thought I should have gotten, I would get upset. Then I had to realize, bruh, you really did not put in the time, the work, the research, the effort. So what you tripping for? Life is good. Again, I had to take my break because I just needed to regroup, refocus. I'm thankful for the friends who are in my life who really love me, who pray for me, who reach out, who text me, who check in. Beautiful thing. I'm going to always continue to try my best to be the best me I can be. And hopefully the best me helps other people. Life is good. Love is good. Where I am right now, I hadn't planned to be. I didn't even expect it, but I'm thankful for it. And I'll say that too. A lot of what I heard and thought I knew of love and the feelings and all of that, and I've often said marriages, love, relationships, all that is work. I tell folk all that. I tell that people that all the time. You can love somebody, it could be the right person, the energy is good, but it's still work. It doesn't have to be hard work, doesn't have to be unnecessary work, but it is work. And I guess hard is subjective. It depends on how you what do you consider hard and what you see. But I tell you, as Stephanie Mills and Angela Wimbush said, I am truly learning to respect the power of love. And I don't just mean sexual love. I don't mean that, oh, honey, boo boo. I mean love all across the board. Love and what that really means, the power that it has. And it's taken me to a greater place. Something I was saying I have to be honest about. The deeper I delve into learning me and knowing me and being a better me, the scarier it is, because there are some things that I thought about myself that I tried to be, that I often talk about the things we think we're putting in the universe is not the way it's landing. So I often tell friends, if I say something or do something that offends you, as my friend, stop me in the moment. Let's talk about it, because sometimes I'm talking so fast that it came out wrong, or I said it wrong, I used the wrong word, whatever the case may be. And I don't want you walking around with an attitude when something was just misunderstood. But I say that to say, with the therapy and with the books and just living, there are things I'm learning to do different. There are some reality checks about me. And I'm not saying at all that I'm a bad person, but I'm saying there's some fine tuning. And as long as I'm living, I know that I've got a lot more to learn. There's a lot of growth, a lot of love. And another thing I'll say is, it's interesting to me when you have a relationship with people and you love people and you can get so easily offended. Sorry, y'all, but this gum is good. How you get so easily offended by something they say or something they do or something they don't say or something they don't do, and just walk away mad when you know the person and you know their spirit, you know their energy. They're not malicious. They're not mad. They may have been having a moment, the case may be. That doesn't excuse it. Y'all still need to have a conversation about it. But to be mad at somebody that you love, that you know has a good heart, that you know has your best interest, and to not address it, to walk around with that bad, unresolved energy is one thing. And there's something to be beefing with somebody and you don't even know you're beefing. That is something. Another thing I'll speak to, it's funny on another note, and I've said this several times, but it's really, really interesting when you find out you're in a competition that you knew nothing about. Folk will compete with you. They will put their best foot forward, and you have no idea that you're even in a competition. You still got your church dress on, and they all geared up with their football uniform, their helmet, their pads, and this and the other. And the funny, ironic part about that is they're fully in competition mode, competing with you. You don't even know that you're in a competition, and just you living your life, you're still winning. Isn't that hilarious? So I was away. I'm back. I'm not trying to be on here all day like I used to be, and this is I really am taking time and making time and smelling the flowers. There's a few other things I wanted to talk about, but like I said, I don't write stuff down. I get sidetracked. Hey, Kenya. Hey, Brian. Hey, Howard. Hey, Maurice. I love you guys. Um, but I just want to be better. Help me to be better. If you see something, now let me say this, because again, we all have our own journeys. If you see something that I said I am, or that I want to be, or that, and you see I'm not living up in love, just kind of check me or kind of remind me, or whatever the case would be, based on our relationship. But even at that, as we're growing, me, you, all of us, when you're doing something new, and oftentimes you don't have a blueprint or a game plan, um, you make missteps, and it's okay to make missteps. You're not gonna do everything perfectly, and people will try to hold you accountable to stuff that you said or what you did, and that's another thing. Oftentimes, and I can speak for myself, if someone's talking about the good I've done in their lives, or the good friend that I am, or the things I've done for them, whatever, who I am, whatever, there's always somebody who will say something negative or whatever. But the thing is, even if they're speaking the truth about their experience, one, they're probably not telling you the whole story about what happened to get us in that situation. But also, a lot of people will talk stuff about you from when they knew you in the 90s, the 80s, the early 2000s. They have not talked to you, emailed you, inboxed you in several years, but they'll still tell that story as if it just happened this morning. You can't do anything about those people. One of my life mottos is if someone speaks badly of you, live your life so that no one believes them. And so my thing is, I'm really not trying to, if I become a role model, if I become an encourager, an inspiration, wise counsel, that's great. It's wonderful. It's a blessing to be used. But to be honest, that's not my focus. I just want to be the best Eric I can be in the moment that I'm given. Tomorrow's not promised. I'm not trying to be falling out, trying to pull folk out of their casket. I'm not trying to wonder, did he know I loved him? Did she know I loved them? I want to show them. I want to show you all why you're here. And that's why many of you get those random texts from me, those random phone calls from me. Also, I've been a firm believer in sometimes when people do you wrong, or the hurt, the thought of them is just too much and it's blocking your progress. I've been a person, you got to do what you got to do, but I've been a person to say sometimes you have to delete folk and block them and delete the text messages and all that, um, just so that you're not back in that space. I've even deleted folk based on, clearing space. Like, hey, your number's in my phone, or we're social media connected, but we never communicate. Why are you here? And I've deleted those people and had no problem with it. And now, there are times when I think of people and I want to reach out just to say hi. And then I realize, oh, I ain't got their number no more. So I'm learning and I'm growing. Not saying that was a bad thing. I did what I did. Hey, Jay. I did what I did, and it is what it was. And with all of that, I feel like there was so much more I wanted to say. I know there was. I need to start writing stuff down. But anyway, I love you guys. Be encouraged, be inspired. Learn your truth, love your truth, respect your truth, live your truth. This journey is yours. It's all about what you make of it. And something I just want to leave with you all, because this is really how I feel. You have, you make the decisions in your life for your life, good, bad, or indifferent. You make decisions based on how you feel in the moment, what you're feeling in the moment, and live with them. And saying all that, I said all that to say, if everything I say right now on this live, if everything I've said since I've been on Facebook, if I wake up tomorrow and decide to do everything completely opposite of what I've said, if right now everything I'm saying is how I truly feel, if I wake up tomorrow with a new revelation and decide to do something different, guess what? That's my prerogative. I said that to say, not in a sarcastic, egotistical way, but I say that to say, as you're making decisions about your life, as you're navigating your life, you make decisions based on what you want to do. If you decide to become a rocket scientist and you go to school and you get all the books, and one day you wake up and decide, you know what? I think I want to be an auto mechanic. That's your choice. Stop explaining or over explaining stuff to people who really don't matter that much. And I don't mean who don't matter, period, but in certain areas of your life, there are people that don't matter. They're not giving to or taking away from or supporting that thing that you're after, so their opinion really shouldn't matter. That's something else I do want to address. I love supporting people. I love supporting black businesses. I ain't gonna front. However, I'm not gonna support you just because you're black. You have to have a product that I'm interested in or a service that I'm interested in, and you have to deliver stellar customer service. You can't get my dollars and treat me any kind of way. I say that with anybody, so it's no different with black-owned businesses. And it's not one of those things where you screwed me over the first time and I just walk away. I may give, depending on how bad the offense or how bad the service or how bad the product was, I may give you another chance. You may have been having a bad day or bad shipment or whatever, but yeah, I'm not going to do it just because you're black. You got to give me something. And I say all that to say, as we, like me, I'm in the service industry. I post my stuff on Instagram all the time, and sometimes it feeds over to Facebook. When I had my book, I posted my book. I posted the link. I encourage people to buy it. I encourage people to come into my shop. But I am aware that barbering is a relationship. You have a relationship with people. You can love me all you want, but your barber is convenient. Y'all have a relationship. He cuts your hair the way he wants it, or she cuts it the way she wants, and that's relationship. I get all that. What I won't do, if I come up with another book, if I start pushing a new service, if I go into another industry, I will put my stuff out there, hope that you all buy it. But what I'm not going to do, and I wish a lot of you would stop doing, is shaming people and threatening people and making people feel bad for not supporting. There's that meme. There are many different sayings and memes that go around about, oh, you'll go to da 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 da, but when people want you to support your friends, da da da. Let me tell you something. Just me as a consumer, that's not going to get me to support you. That speaks a lot about your character. Put your business out there, talk about it, promote it, let people find it for themselves, and let them decide when and how and where they want to support it. Sometimes they won't run out and buy your stuff, but they will share. They will like and share. they will tell other people about it. So you have to let people do what they can and how they can and why they can and stuff. Love, for me, love isn't going to guilt you or shame you on this and the other. If you believe in it, if you know somebody who could use it, pass the word along. There's a few things I want to talk about, but then I left my head. But just be real, be loving, be kind, be honest. I hope this makes sense. I feel like I ramble when I do this, and of course, I had a nice Saturday off. I got some stuff done, and it's the end of the day, and I'm a little sleepy, and I still got to go to the salon and prepare for tomorrow because tomorrow's an early day. But I did want to talk to you guys. I've been back, I think, for 2 weeks now, and I haven't properly addressed you guys. But I do love the conversations. I love the energy. I love the sharing. I've met some amazing people from Facebook. A lot of them I knew before Facebook. A lot of you I knew before Facebook, and it allows us to stay connected, and some of our bonds have grown even stronger. Some folk I had to let go. And there are a lot of people that I've met through this media, this medium, and I'm thankful for. And we may not talk every day, we may not communicate every day. And I was just telling someone this just tonight. But he's impacted me in a way. I do view him as a brother, and I love him, and we don't communicate a lot, but he needs to know that, like a lot of you need to know, there are people who are here, who have your back, who are in your corner, and don't want anything other than the best for you. They want to help you if they can, but a closed mouth doesn't get fed. You guys, when I say guys, I mean you young ladies too. Stop allowing your ego and your pride to prevent you from receiving the love and the help and the information and the knowledge that you need, that you desire, that you want. You never know who has what in their hands, or who knows whom. So I mean, just when you're in need, find those people who you know got your back, and just ask questions. And again, you don't have to put all your business out there, but just be honest enough with yourself and to whomever you pray to, believe in, or whatever, and just say, I need help. Even if you don't go into the details about what the help is, just be honest enough with yourself to just stop and say, you know what, I can't do this on my own. That's the beginning, just admitting I'm stopped. I'm stumped. I don't know where to turn. You'd be surprised at how, well, I've been surprised. I'm often surprised at how, just by me being open, the world brings me what I need. So I just like sharing. I don't ever want to feel like I'm preaching and trying to force stuff on. But like I said, I grew up hearing a lot of messages, and one thing that I discovered is that, again, there's no healing in shame. There's no healing in secrets. Like I've often heard, we're as sick as our secrets. So get it out. Whether you talk to a best friend, whether you talk to a therapist, whether you just talk to yourself, you speak to your spirit, you just have a conversation. I think that it's very important just to release stuff. A lot of times, and I'm guilty of it, I was one of those people who, I take on everybody else's issue. I help them with their problems. I always had some good advice, but I would hold my stuff in and try to work through it myself and this and the other. And one thing that I discovered, again, it's different for everybody, but I just believe this. We hold on to stuff, and I'm sorry, y'all, this gum. We hold on to stuff and we don't release it, and it just builds up like toxicity. And then one day when we least expect it, when we're off doing our thing and having a good time, that thing explodes. It just bubbles up, and whether we curse somebody out, whether we just bust out crying, whether we fight, it we can't keep it in. So whatever you need to do to release those things and get the help and the healing that you need, do that. Tomorrow's not promised. Love you and love on others. Um, what else I want to talk about? I want to talk about something else, but I want to hold you guys. I love you guys. I hope this helped. And again, every now and then, I'm going to take a break from social media and do what I need to do. And I encourage that from you all, or for you all. Take the breaks you need, whether it's completely deactivating your account or whether it's not logging in for a day or a few days, whatever. I know one of my friends has, I think it's Wednesday or Thursday, where he just doesn't log on social media for the whole day. And that's the break he needs. So figure out what works for you and feed into that. Figure out those things that, hey, Clarissa, hey, Billy, figure out those things that weigh you down, that put toxins into your system, and either get rid of them, lower the dosage, or at least be aware of what they are so you can learn how to navigate them and operate around them, or operate with them present and still get what you need done and accomplished. Because at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, the middle of the day, the one person you can depend on, you should be able to depend on, is yourself. Even when the people who love us the most have their own issues going on, or they get upset about something, or they get mad about something, and they don't want to deal with you in that moment, you have to love and respect and accept yourself enough to know that I'm sitting in this dark room by myself. The curtains are closed, the lights are off, everyone has left the auditorium. I'm here by myself, me and my thoughts. What do I think of myself? How do I feel about myself? Am I okay with myself? And that's the place we need to get to, where we can just, hey, Tiffany, I love you too. So my thing is, again, it's never about preaching or trying to get people to do things the way that I do them. I'm about sharing my experiences and giving people options. There's always more than one way. Um, and I just want people to understand that. I don't ever want people to, especially the people I love, but anybody, to feel like they're trapped in a corner or in a box or in a closet and there's no way out. There's always another way of seeing things. There's always another way of doing things. And no matter what it feels like, there's always someone willing to help you. Whether it's a word, whether it's to get you across town to that interview, whether it's putting money in your pocket, whether it's linking you to somebody else, there's always somebody there. But there are few people that I know that walk amongst us every day that are mind readers. So you have to be open enough and honest enough with yourself to ask for what you need, what you want. The person that you're talking to may not have it, but they may know who has it or how to get to it or how to get you closer. So I love you guys. Oh, I wanted to say, this should have been the beginning. I'm going to say this, and I think I want to go. My life is not perfect. It never has been perfect. But I've always lived, and I definitely lived through the lens of what does not kill me makes me stronger. I get upset. I get disappointed. I hurt. I cry. I will cry in a minute. I'll fall out in a minute because I'm going to release this. Um, but what I will say is I'm learning more and more to see the beauty of living, the beauty in my life, the beauty in me. And I'm capitalizing on that. There's enough negativity in the world. There's enough stuff that come at us every single day, enough to make us go crazy. And so I'm determined, if nobody else is going to fight for me, I'm going to fight for me. And I admonish you, is that the word? To fight for yourself. You deserve it. You are worth it. No matter what people have told you, No matter how people have treated you, I'm here to tell you if you didn't know, and I'm here to remind you if you forgot, you're the prize. You're worth it. There are some of you who, some of my friends who I've grown up with have just started living. We're almost in our 50s, and they're just really starting to see just how amazing life is. And so I say that to you. As long as you're not in the ground, it's not too late. You are the prize. I love you guys. Whenever I come up with something that I think is going to touch you guys, I'll be on here sharing, whether I do a live or whether I post it on my wall. I just want us all to be better. Whatever better means for us as individuals, that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm praying for. That's what I'm fighting for. That's why I try to do the things I do. So I love you guys. Have a great night. I got to go. I just got my text that the shop is clear. So I'm about to go and clean the shop. I have a full book tomorrow. My schedule opens at 8. So that means my day starts at 6:30. So I love you guys. I may come back and talk to you guys on Monday because I'm off on Monday, but just know that you are incredibly amazing, and everything that you desire, everything that you want, everything that you wish, as long as it's going to make you a better person, you can achieve it, and the universe will give it to you if you put yourself in the right place. I love you guys. Good night.